We're out near sunny Bristol, home of Bailey Caravans, to have a look at the new Bailey Approach Autograph 745, which you can see behind me. It's been 2 years since Bailey caused a stir by entering the motorhome market with its Approach SE range, and they've sold well, but the company has not rested on its laurels. They've retired the Approach SE range altogether and replaced it with the Approach Autographs. The major changes are to the exterior. Bailey faced a lot of criticism for the boxy bodies on their original Approaches, so they've worked hard to improve them. It's still built on the Peugeot Boxer, and they've retained the extra wide body that was a defining feature of the original Approaches. It's 2.42 meters wide and provides lots of interior space. This time they've dropped the chassis slightly, which makes for even better road holding and even more interior space. They're using a metallic graphite cab now, as well as nicer mouldings, gentler angles and a radius on the rear end of the body. I really like this last detail because it helps this van stand out on a site and is something of a Bailey signature. There's also better ease of access to the interior thanks to the lower step. Some of the layouts have been discontinued and there are 4 all new ones, but some, such as this 745, are ported over from the old Approach SEs. There's a new interior upholstery option, which you can see here, but otherwise the lounge is broadly the same and still has 2 belted travelling seats and makes up into a double bed. This layout won Bailey the Caravan Club's Design and Drive Award in 2012, and it's easy to see why. The extra wide body has been used to full effect, allowing for a nice wide corridor through the centre of the van and a lounge that never feels cramped. The fact that the Approach Autograph has an even lower floor means that there's an amazing amount of headroom in some parts of the van. In some cases, it's up to 6 foot 7 inches. Bailey have also used this to raise the floor in the lounge and incorporate a double floor there, which they've used to improve the facilities. I really like the shoe storage box located under the floor of the lounge and the fact that the leisure battery box is conveniently located underneath that. The heating is the big news here. Where the Approach SEs had Truma blown air heating, the Approach Autographs have Aldi wet heating, which uses radiators which run under the floor, much the same principle as any domestic central heating system. This is great news and a big improvement because wet heating is quieter, more efficient and better performing than blown air heating. And the touchscreen control panel that Aldi fits has a lot of useful features, such as a timer that lets you specify what time the heating comes on, so you can tell it to come on before you wake up in the morning, which is great if, like me, you hate waking up to a cold motorhome. The kitchen's been updated with a new countertop and new locker doors and a new oven, and in the rear the bed has a nicer headboard and is higher up, allowing for more storage underneath it. It's also the same size as last year's bed, which is more than ample for a couple and bigger than most other motorhomes with this kind of layout. In the washroom you'll see that it's broadly the same as well. The only new thing here is the sink, and otherwise it's the same spacious and comfortable washroom as before. Again, it's bigger because this van is wider than most. So what do we make of this new motorhome from caravan specialist Bailey? I think it's a really canny update, improving on what was already a great product by listening to feedback and addressing its major weaknesses. They've improved the exterior and interior designs and upped the practicality and specification levels. But what about the price? It should be around £2,000 to £3,000 more than before, which I think is very fair, especially when you consider that the Aldi heating alone will cost you around £1,300. Bailey's motorhome is really shaping up to be a threat to the established order.